Every evening, a 10-year-old boy named Ryan and his father would go for a walk to a nearby hill. It was their special time together, a time to talk, laugh, and enjoy the cool breeze as they walked. One evening, as they stood at the bottom of the hill, Ryan's eyes shined with excitement. "Dad, let's have a race today. The first one to reach the top wins," he said. His father smiled, seeing the excitement in his son's eyes, and said, "All right, let's do it." As soon as Ryan counted down, they both started running up the steep path. Ryan, being young and full of energy, ran ahead. His father followed close behind, running at his own pace. The race added a new thrill to their usual walk. However, after a little while, Ryan noticed that his father had stopped running. Confused, he turned around and yelled, "Dad, what happened? Are you giving up?" His father shook his head and bent down to take off his shoes. "No, son," he said calmly. "Some small stones got stuck in my shoes. I need to take them out." Ryan smiled. "I have stones in my shoes too," he said. "But if I stop now, you might catch up. I'll take them out once I reach the top." He then pushed himself forward, determined not to lose. His father laughed, took a moment to shake the small stones from his shoes, and started running again. Ryan was far ahead now, but soon, he started to feel the sharp pain of the stones pressing into his feet. The pain was small at first, but with every step, it got worse. His fast run slowed down. He gritted his teeth, trying to ignore the pain, but it kept getting worse. His father, steady and unaffected, was catching up. "Ryan, why don't you stop and take out the stones first?" he called. Ryan clenched his fists. "I don't have time for that," he yelled back, wincing with every step. But his pace kept slowing down, and the pain in his feet grew stronger. Soon, his father passed him easily. Ryan tried to keep going, but the pain in his feet made it hard to even walk. Finally, he couldn't keep going anymore. He stopped, breathing heavily. "Dad, I can't run anymore," he said, tears filling his eyes. His father immediately turned around and knelt next to him. He took off Ryan's shoes and looked at his feet. There were small cuts and red, swollen spots where the stones had hurt him. Carefully, he took out the small stones and lifted Ryan onto his back. "Let's go home," he said gently. At home, as Ryan soaked his sore feet in warm water, his father sat next to him. "Son," he said, "I told you to take out the stones earlier, didn't I?" Ryan looked down. "I thought if I stopped, I'd lose the race." His father smiled, knowing what Ryan had learned. "That's where you were wrong. In life, problems are like those stones. If we ignore them, they don't go away. They only hurt us more over time. You thought stopping for a minute would make you lose, but in the end, ignoring the problem made you go slower." Ryan nodded, understanding the lesson. His father continued, "Taking a small break to fix a problem is always better than letting it hurt you more later. Next time, don't just keep going without thinking. Take care of what's holding you back first." Ryan smiled through his pain, knowing he had learned something more important than just winning a race. In life, we often push forward, ignoring small problems because we fear slowing down or falling behind. But ignoring an issue doesn't make it disappear. It only grows, causing more pain and setbacks in the long run. Whether it's stress, mistakes, or unresolved conflicts, taking a moment to address them doesn't mean we're stopping. It means we're making sure we can move forward without unnecessary burdens. True progress isn't about rushing ahead despite the pain. It's about making sure nothing is holding us back. So before we push forward, let's take the time to remove the obstacles in our path. May you always have the wisdom to face challenges at the right time and the strength to move forward without unnecessary burdens. Stay strong, stay mindful, and keep growing.